What is going on, everybody? It is Pelfrey, and I've been pretty good with these raw, uncut tank updates, so we're just going to roll with it, except for this time, I don't know if I'm going to get in front of the camera. We're just going to go through the tank, and that's it. So if you hear some noise, my youngest is on the floor playing, and at the moment she is very content, but we will see how long that lasts. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. I don't know if you can notice, but we have quite a bit of glare going on over top of the tank now, and this is not this is not the final mount, but this is how it's kind of on the tank for now, and that's what I'm going to roll with. Let me get down here and get my flashlight, prevent my girl from getting in there. But this is a Nanotech, no, that is absolutely horrible, Nanotech T5 reflector powered by Sunblaster. And a very cool thing about this is it has an output, so you can actually daisy chain other fixtures off of this. And then of course it has the input up here. And just the lighting in my house is just poor to begin with. But this is, and it does have a little timer, or excuse me, an on-off switch. So right now I'm doing it manually. I'm only running it for like an hour or two a day. I sent the AP7 back to DC Reefer, and once again I appreciate you letting me test out the LED over the tank. For now, I'm going to try some T5s, and you know, I really need to stop changing things, but I've struggled for quite some time with getting the Kessils, either getting a good spectrum or just getting any kind of response from the corals from the Kessils in general. So this is a 36-inch T5 fixture and a ATI Coral, ATI Blue Plus bulb, and I may actually add another one. I'm not really sure yet. So aside from that, the tank actually looks really good, I think, with it. Of course, the Kessils are on right now, and if I unplug this cable right here, this is with the T5 only, and of course it's blue because it's a Blue Plus bulb. But I actually don't mind the look of the tank with the T5s. Of course, with that just one T5 on, you don't get the shimmer that the Kessil provides. And then, you know, if we turn this knob on here, we got really blue tank. And then if we turn this other knob here, we will get a white tank. So let me go ahead and plug this headphone jack back into the lights there. But yeah, that was the fixture was $46, I think, and the bulb was $20. And I will leave a link in the description below to the exact fixture that I have. And they make them 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, I believe. But having the light back here kind of gives you an idea now where I notched out the screen lid for the gyre pumps. And you can actually see the lid sitting on top of the overflow box on the Red Sea Reefer, and the same on this side over here. So speaking of the lid of a Red Sea Reefer, I've done this to myself a couple of times. I use the flipper magnet cleaner, and if you don't push, if you're going to change panes of glass with that flipper, I guess any magnet cleaner for the sake of the argument, you better move it down lower, because if you go from this pane to this pane of glass up towards the top of the tank, water will spill over. So something to think about if you're thinking about a rimless tank versus a, you know, a braced or a Euro braced tank. So of course the sand bed is looking a little dirty, and that's fine. But the corals, I think, you know, it's too hard to tell with the T5s. Really hoping that this bird's nest, you can see this little speck right there. I cut it off its plug. I'm really hoping that it kind of does bounce back and comes back, and we kind of go full circle there. But yeah, that's the big news. The T5 is actually on the tank, and it is crooked, so I ordered some more extruded aluminum, black extruded aluminum, to mount the T5 fixture to. And I've never seen a T5 tank with my own eyes, so it was very, very interesting. On a side note, I know the AFS has sat in here for quite some time. Last week after my video, I said I'm gonna set this thing right on top of my screen, like this. And this is how I'm gonna use it. You know, I had pushed it back and said, well, I'm gonna use it. So I plugged it into the Apex, I hit the on button, and dummy me did not adjust this slider. And if you don't adjust this slider to where it's perfect for the pellets, then you create a big mess. And I dumped a ton of pellets into the tank. So I did add the filter socks back to the tank for a couple days, just because I wanted to try to filter out as much food as I could. I've not seen any ill effects to the food being dropped into the tank yet. I have not tested my phosphates, and I actually ran out of a nitrate test kit, so I have that on order. I actually cleaned out the Nyos 120 skimmer cup this morning, and I want to say because of the filter sock removal, I don't know if that's really it or not, but this thing has been doing an excellent job. It had taken me for a while to get this correct, and there's a gentleman on the Reef to Reef forum, Scurvy, talked to him quite a bit about the skimmer, so thank you very much. Shout out to you for helping me get this thing tuned. And once again, I don't know that this airline is really making a difference because it's just going to the outside of the stand. So, you know, I don't know if it's making or breaking anything, but I could see at one point the cup kind of overflowed because there is some salt spray on the outside of my reactor, and I don't really care. It's inside of the sump, so you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna let it do its thing. As far as the algae reactor is concerned, you can see some salt creep there. If I pull the lid off, it's going to be very hard to see, but the screen is growing some algae slowly but surely, and you can see that the base is growing algae pretty great. So I'm not too concerned about that. You know, it'll grow again. And then I did add this small power head. It's like, I don't know, a couple 100 liters or so. I did put this in my sump only because just to blow some of the stuff around from time to time, no big deal. And especially whenever I dropped all the food in the tank, I didn't want, you know, these two separate chambers right here are separated by a glass divider. So I wanted to try to stir up as much stuff in the sump as I could. So aside from the tank, the equipment cabinet, let's take a quick look at this and the absolute mess that this is. And excuse me, at one point the cabinet had a back in it, right there, red light shining. I have to shine a light in here. I don't think that that light's going to come on. So anyway, the equipment cabinet is a mess, and the battery backup used to sit behind the equipment cabinet, but I did not like it because at any moment either of my kids could press and hold this button right here and it would shut my complete system down, shut it down. So you know, it really needs some work and attention, but my biggest problem is actually running cables from here over and then trying to manage them here in such a tight space. If the cabinet was situated maybe with the door facing this way, it would be a little bit easier. So with that being said, the equipment cabinet was a great idea, and it may stay here, but I actually went and got some plywood recently and a Craig mini pocket screw jig, and I'm gonna shoot for the stars and attempt to make my own and get this cable management under control, because it is bad, and whenever you have to unplug something and move something around, it is bad. And to be honest with you, that pump that I have in the sump and the T5 light, I don't have anywhere on the Apex to plug it in just yet, so probably need to look at getting another EV8. I had one a while back. I said, well, I'm probably never going to use it, so I sold it. And you know, hindsight's 20/20. I probably should have kept it, but never really had a point of keeping it until now. So anyway, that's a complete embarrassment, but this is behind it. So you can see the battery back up there, that complete mess, and then it goes behind the tank. And then I have it braced to this board I have on the wall so that nobody can pull it away from the wall and create fish tank chaos. Now of course the light wants to come on inside the cabinet. And this does have the magnetic lock like the tank stand does. So I am still experiencing some salt creep up on the back of the glass, and I just make it a point to wipe it off whenever I get a chance. There's actually a little bit of water there. And I just noticed the black vinyl is starting to peel off a little bit there, and I did not do that intentionally. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm not too concerned about it. It's a quality tank. I got no problems whatsoever. But that's that, folks. I'm really needing to stop. Need to stop changing the lighting. So, you know, I can't say this is the final result because honestly I don't know. But what I do know is you know, I need to try to pick something out and leave it alone and let the tank kind of do its own thing. So with that being said, suggestions: how long would you run the T5s? I have the Kessils ramping up to about 55% on both the color and intensity. So I might actually drop the intensity down just a little bit and up the color. How long would you run the T5s? And if you added a second T5 fixture, what bulb combination would you go with? They're both gonna have to go behind the Kessils, and that's fine because that's, I mean, it lights up the tank pretty well. And I guess this should be a fair representation. That is with the T5 off, and that is with the T5 on, which you can't really tell. The Kessils drowned it out pretty well. Sorry about that. I got a phone call right in the middle of recording. So as always, I appreciate you watching. Comments, questions, or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.